Normally I wouldn't be discussing my real-life struggles, but this has been weighing heavily on me for the past several months, and with suggestions from both Mad Munchkin and Flitterkriz here, we were actually inspired to watch an episode of MLP Friendship is Magic, a Rockhoof and a Hard Place, which I can now relate to a lot more. For the past 18 years, I have been working as an accountant for a single company. I started less than a year after graduating college, so this one job has been a huge part of my life. And back in March of this year, a couple people from the corporate offices got into calls with each one of the accounting staff and notified us that we were all being let go.
That sounds ground-shaking, Doc. Losing a stable job like that out of nowhere can be terrifying. Knowing your work ethic and dedication, I'm sure new work will pop up soon. And your dearest Mrs. Wolf will be right beside you, along with all your friends. But how did this connect you to the Rockhoof episode?
Well, thankfully all of the accounting staff at my job were given several months heads up before being let go. Though we were first informed in March, we actually have been kept on payroll until August. So for the past few months, I have been applying to any accounting positions I can find in our local area. Despite dozens of copies of my resume being sent out, searching and submitting through many listings on LinkedIn, only a few companies have responded in order to set up an interview, and not a one has been interested in having me join their company. So, naturally, when watching a Rockhoof and a Hard Place again after all these years, I suddenly found myself relating to Rockhoof's struggles about finding a new purpose in the world a lot more. It really gave me a new perspective on this story.
That makes sense. His struggle to adapt into a new time and society was not an easy task, even when he had plenty of help. So for you to keep applying to all the workplaces and getting little to none feedback can be very similar. I know that this seemingly endless hunt or quest for a place, or something that will give you meaning, or at least a feeling that you're able to help out, can be very hard on the heart and mind. A thing many people nowadays can relate to, I am sure. So, do you want to share with me the new perspective you got?
It has been a difficult struggle for me. Feeling such a strong purpose in this career I've had for the past 18 years, the stability and security it provided for my lady and I, which in turn gave me the opportunity to spend my free time making YouTube videos for the past 11 years. And suddenly being told that I need to move on. Watching Rockhoof being told that his skills are no longer needed, that his understanding of the world no longer applies. That is a very harsh feeling to deal with. Looking back at your many years of knowledge and experience, and yet no one is willing to hire you?
Yes! Like everything you have done suddenly doesn't mean anything? That all those experiences and hardships no longer happened? That can be heart-shattering for someone. I am truly proud of you, since you did not go down the same path as Rockhoof almost did in that episode, with the stone sleep spell. I know that he only thought of it as a temporary thing, but seeing his face made me think that it was the same when I lost a childhood friend to the eternal sleep. I may not know how the work market for accountants are, but as far as I know, they are always needed. Kinda like what Rockhoof does for everybody else in the end of the episode.
My favorite part of this episode is easily Yona. She has the best lines, and is the one character who is able to wrest Rockhoof away from his despair. Throughout my many years and thousands of videos on YouTube, the most memorable moments for me have always been when I can see that my words and experiences have helped others to find inspiration in their own lives. Much like Yona's influence here, such words have gone a long way in helping me find my motivation. And even though it has been quite some time since I found a reason to talk about the show which first got me started on making videos, It is a helpful reminder of how much of a difference I can make when people like Mad Munchkin and Flitterkriz here tell me how my work is still wanted.
That is wonderful to hear, thank you. And I think I can say from both me and Mad Munchkin that we are not the only ones that enjoy your videos. I also agree that the outside validation, or at least people letting you know that what you do is something that gives them joy, and that is a great experience. When Yona kept saying Rockhoof is best pony, I could not help myself to not giggle, since it is a phrase that we often use in our fandom community. Something that was interesting was also how far Twilight has come. If it had been the earlier seasons, I bet she would have used a whole episode trying to convince Rockhoof not to want to do the sleep spell. But instead, she accepted it and did the reading and research. She was not happy, and she was even trying to talk him out of it when she came out the door. In the end of the episode, before she noticed that Rockhoof was surrounded by ponies and others from the school listening to his stories. We are very often blind to our own talents until somebody tells us about it. Kinda like how, so many people are enjoying your stories, Doc. I think both you and Rockhoof would be great storytellers.
Perhaps so. Your words are rather encouraging, Flitterkriz, and it is good to remember that even though my accounting skills have not yet found a new home, there are many other purposes I can fulfill. And I sincerely hope that somehow, somewhere, there is at least one person who can find inspiration from our discussions here today.
Yes, indeed, and thank you. We both have a love of helping out our friends, and the best feeling ever is when we can see them a little extra happy, or fulfilling a dream or a goal that they have. To be honest with you, I do think a lot of people will get some inspiration or help from this video. You often forget how truly remarkable you are. How much you actually help out friends and inspire other people, and that they are grateful every time you upload. I am wondering though, what would happen if you would try to go YouTube full-time?
Oh, I've considered that idea over and over again these past several years. But each and every time I do, I am reminded of just how volatile the YouTube algorithms can be. I've never wanted to make YouTube my full-time career simply because of how unpredictable the work and its results are. I feel far better just making YouTube as a hobby of mine, a second job at most. Perhaps there are more ideas I can explore which I couldn't before due to gaining new perspectives in life, which in turn can become new video projects for YouTube. Though I shall keep searching for a new job which can utilize the accounting skills I've gained.
Sounds like a valid plan. Also, I think a lot of people forget how unpredictable YouTube can be. Keeping focus on the goal is something that a lot of people forget. Rockhoof stars may have changed places over time, but you don't have to struggle with that giant time gap. As far as I know, most accountant jobs are still the same, and I bet that is a comfort. It was wonderful to hear from you, Doc, and you're always welcome to tea and talks anytime.
Thank you kindly for encouraging me to do this project, Flitterkriz. We hope that revisiting this episode from Friendship is Magic has encouraged some of you out there as well. If you've had any similar experiences, we look forward to reading about them in the comments below. Until next time, I am Dr. Wolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.